Wir haben heute spannende Themen für Sie vorbereitet. In 20 Minuten wird Chat Arango YEXT als die Marketing Foundation für SMB und Best Practices vorstellen. Und dieser Vortrag wird der einzige sein, den wir heute auf Englisch halten werden. Chat ist einer der führenden Experten im Bereich Digital Knowledge Management. Er ist verantwortlich für den weltweiten Partnerbereich von YEXT. Und er wird uns heute tolle Insights geben, wie sich die Online-Suche verändert, wie die Customer Journey sich verändern und warum YEXT die Antwort ist und die Plattform ist, um auf dieses Suchverhalten eine tolle Software zu setzen. Chad, let's start your presentation, and we are really delighted to have you here today and give us some insights, give us some cool insights, what's happening with search and answers.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the introduction, the inclusion in this event, and of course the partnership. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to polish my German up to this, so I will be your token English-speaking American to walk you through, what we've seen in search, a little bit about why YEXT, how we're impactful for businesses, and then a few things on how we think about value to businesses across the globe. So really excited, of course, to walk you through. Any questions that you have, feel free to chat them. If they are in German, we can use the team to translate, and happy to address any comments or questions throughout, of course. So to begin, as Jürgen had mentioned, my name is Chad Arango. I lead our global growth at Partner with a focus on evangelizing and enabling our partners and, of course, our partner sellers across the globe. And for anybody, listening in that is maybe not familiar, YEXT is an absolute global force. We power almost 400 million facts about businesses across the globe. We're active in over 150 different countries. And we, of course, are listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and really excited to kind of showcase how we deliver immense value to customers across the globe. So the agenda quickly will be just what we're seeing in terms of changes just in search in general. We'll go into, why YEXT, of course, is impactful given these changes, a little bit about the platform, and then lastly, looking at driving value and how we look at it at YEXT. So let's dive in. So when we look at the changes in search, we have to realize that the way that consumers, myself, Marion, Yadin, Jürgen, Daniel, who I see is on the call, the way that we search has really changed. We've moved away from single keywords, like if I'm looking for pizza, and we've now started to ask more detailed questions, which is important for marketers because it yields the actual intent of what a consumer is looking for. So instead of just typing in pizza in a search engine, we might ask our Google app, what is the pizza place nearest me that's open now? Or asking Alexa, what's the best pizza place where I can get delivery? Or when I select a business, I might want to understand, do they have gluten-free pizzas? Do they have transgender bathrooms, right? Do they accept takeaway or curbside pickup? And then when I make a decision, I might go into a navigational app and get actual driving directions. So there's a myriad of touch points that consumers use when they search, and it's immensely important for us as marketers to be able to capture this intent for our SMB customers. And because of the way that consumers have changed in how they search, what we think of as listings has also evolved greatly, where it's not just your classic listing sites like Yellow Pages or just your directories or maybe vertical listing sites, but it encompasses major search engines like Google, Bing, and Yahoo. Mapping systems and GPS services like Google Maps, Apple Maps, Waze, Uber. Social sites, of course, like Facebook, Foursquare, Instagram, and can't leave out voice assistants and AI of today and the ones that will come through tomorrow. So listings encompass every place that a consumer may interact with a business online. So because of the way consumers have changed in their search behavior and the evolution of listings, the data and information that we can access has also greatly evolved. To the left, you see a MapQuest listing. For those not familiar, a very early online directory where from 1999, this screenshot is you can see a list of businesses. Maybe you can get a link to their website or a link to driving directions that you would then print out and then be on your way. But we have to look at today's business profile or listings for businesses that encompass not only the business name, their ratings and their reviews, call to actions, like I can click on driving directions, I could call the business directly from this listing, I can make appointments, I can see their hours, I can even suggest an edit if I think the business information is maybe incorrect. And we'll get into a little bit more on the control aspect that we provide businesses a little bit later in the presentation. So because of the way consumers have changed in the way they search, listings have evolved, the information that is prevalent on these listings, we at YEXT have also tracked that a lot of engagement with SMBs are occurring off of their website, usually first. So we track that about 73% of high intent traffic is going to listings through search first. We surveyed about 20,000 businesses and looked at the information. And when we think about a high intent traffic, we're really talking about search queries taking place on a mobile device for a local business, which tends to be the highest converting type of search query. So we need to be explaining to our SMB customers that a website, of course, is really important, but making a really good first impression arguably may be more important. And with all of that, there are three factors that come into play for search engines when they want to rank or index a business in search results. And the first one is relevance, right? So how related is a potential business to what someone is searching for? And having rich information, hours, services that you provide, having that everywhere is absolutely critical for a search engine or a consumer to build confidence or trust that you are the right choice for what I'm looking for. With relevance also comes distance. We see a lot of search happening on mobile devices. A lot of consumers use search to find local information. So making sure your location data is as up to date as possible everywhere. And especially in the world that we live in today with a lot of uncertainty, managing your hours and where you're located couldn't be more critical. And I'll actually show some examples of how that is impactful as we go through. And then lastly is this concept of prominence, which is really popularity, right? How well known is a business in Google, across the web? And prominence is really your ratings and your reviews. How many reviews you have, what the average rating is, the recency of those reviews, all things that the YEXT platform can help you as marketers deliver that to your customers. So with that, let's talk a little bit about why YEXT and how we help businesses advance through all of the changes in search and the changes in the world that we are all facing today. So just to kind of come out of the gate swinging, there are really four main ways that YEXT helps your customers. First, we help them publish and control their business information everywhere across places like Google, Yelp, Apple Maps, Facebook, and so many more. We help them manage, measure, and improve their online reputation with our review monitoring and review response and review insights right from within the YEXT platform. With those two, we help capture that high intent traffic because we publish rich, up-to-date facts about businesses. So we help optimize businesses for both branded, like if I'm looking for Chad's Pizza Shop, or if I'm looking for an unbranded search, like, where is the best place to get pizza that is open now? And then as marketers, we know insights are as critical as ever. So we help you guys gain a holistic view of your client's search performance online. And we'll go into all of these and how we actually accomplish this. So to start, and talking to an SMB, we realize we're not maybe talking to a sophisticated enterprise. So let's make it really simple. Offline problems for businesses can be pretty obvious, right? If we look at these two snapshots, we can understand that this isn't an advertising for, let's say, LSD as the beginning of something wonderful. It's the town of Hillsdale, but the lights are kind of off. And then if I look to the right, this is an Asian buffet, a dynasty buffet. It's not a nasty buffet. So if we talk about this to businesses, they would want to fix it right away. But when we think about that more and more consumers are interacting with your business online first, why would we let the same thing happen online? And fortunately enough for YEXT and our partnership with Salessurance, we've created a great sales tool that you can all white label to help set the stage or begin the value conversation and how we can help their business online. Here's a pizza place in downtown Berlin that I ran a quick scan for. And while you can see they have a lot of inaccuracies and their ratings and reviews are kind of struggling, we can go a little bit further to help build more value when we're pitching, let's say, an SMB customer. So let's just take a look at the top 3 listing sites, Google, Bing, and Yelp, for example. Even though name, address, and phone number on Google and Bing is pretty much on par, I took a look at just the hours of operation. And if I went to Google, I see that this business is open from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. That's good. People love pizza and they love it all the time. But when I went to their Bing listing, it actually says that they're closed on Sundays. So this is conflicting information that if I were to maybe start my search on Google, or maybe I have a Microsoft computer and Bing is my default search engine, I'm seeing wrong hours of information across these 2 critical places that can help a business capture a searching consumer. And then lastly, looking at Yelp, they don't even have a phone number and their ratings and their reviews are pretty poor. So just to hit home on the importance of hours of operation, if one of your customers, they're not seeing the value of it, then, well, I could just update this myself, is that when you actually select a business, and if the hours of information are incorrect, Google can actually tell a consumer who's on their way that maybe you shouldn't go here because you're going to arrive when the business is closed. So really hitting home that any step of the way for the customer journey online can actually derail them from going to that business and maybe choosing a competitor, for example. So let's take all of that and see how search results change based on the way that consumers now search in a more elongated or question-based aspect. If I just look for the best pub in Dublin, the first result I get is the Temple Bar, a very popular bar. It's the name of the district. But when I search best, the reason this business comes up is because they have a staggering amount of reviews and a pretty good average rating, but they're not open. So it's not giving me exactly maybe what I need. So if I take that a little bit further and I look for, okay, now I want to find the best pub in Dublin that's open now, I don't get Temple Bar in the search results because they're not open. So seeing how, as I ask a question in search, it changes the results that I could potentially see. Now let's take this one step further, because as we know with COVID-19 and the restaurant and dining industry, of course, taking a huge hit, I want to go and do business locally with a restaurant, but I want to see which ones offer takeout. And when I add takeout as something I'm looking for, both of those businesses previously do not show up in search for a couple of reasons. One, when I add the term best in a search query, Google automatically filters out businesses that don't have a 4-star rating or greater. And because I'm looking for a business that's open now, they also apply a filter to only list businesses that the hours of operation are reflected that they're actually open, kind of showcasing it here. And then lastly, because I'm asking for takeout, you can see that in the attributes or the detailed information, this business can now appear in search because they're updating their information that they do offer a takeout service. So just showcasing that as we get more precise in what we're looking for, search results do change. And luckily for everyone on the call, SMBs across the globe, and of course, our partners, is we help businesses control and manage information like this so they can appear in search when it matters most. And you think about that last search query as really being specific, or this concept of intent. And you might ask, well, why is that important for a marketer? Well, we've actually tracked that 70% of all queries done in search contain 3 words or more. So because we're getting more specific in what we look for, we also see that these search queries convert at a much higher rate, almost 2.5 times the amount as a search done with just a single keyword. So at its root, YEXT helps answer high intent questions in search. If I break down that best pub in Dublin open now offering takeout, you can see that a lot more comes into play. It's their ratings and their reviews to answer this question, making sure their primary business category is correct, their location is accurate, their hours of operation are as precise as possible, and anything unique about that business that could help capture someone who's looking to make a purchase and win against the competition. We help drive those unique facts in search as well. So I think this is a good segue into the platform, but I can pause and see if any questions came through chat or if anyone has anything to ask or address before we dive in. All right. So I think a great way to talk about the platform is if I just look at Google's mission statement. We could argue it might have changed a little bit now with a lot of ads, of course, coming into play, but Google's mission statement is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. And at the root of the YEXT platform, we're built the exact same way. We're built to answer questions everywhere searching consumers are, because we allow businesses to manage, keep track of everything important about them, the facts, so they can stay relevant and connected to searching consumers. Business category, location, specials or promotions, hours of operation, all of that is powered through YEXT across all the places consumers search. And as I'd mentioned, connected everywhere. And here's a snapshot of our network powering the German market. We've also seen that this network of sites that we've integrated into YEXT receives almost 3 times the amount of views as your actual website may for an SMB, hitting home that more and more consumers are interacting with businesses through search and on listings before they actually navigate to, say, a website. YEXT also, as I mentioned, with the insights, it helps keep you as marketers in the know about how your SMB customers are performing, because you can track things like profile views, even Facebook page views by day. You can track specific Google customer actions like people that click driving directions or phone calls or actually click to the website. Phone calls by the hour to help businesses understand when they should be manning their phones, for example. You can monitor and respond to reviews that come in directly from the platform as well. And lastly, see how your customers stack up against their competition in search as well, so you can always let them know how they're performing. One thing I think is interesting is a few years back, we did a study where we tracked a business located in wonderful Texas. And not only did the business information change over time, it also morphed. It went from a deli to a liquor store, back to a deli, phone number changes. So without a service like YEXT and a partner like Salessurance, businesses potentially can lose the ability to maintain integrity and maintain accuracy everywhere on search. So YEXT also helps keep SMBs in control of their digital storefront, if you will, because we allow them to listen and respond to customers that leave ratings and reviews. We help them manage all the critical facts about their business, like where they're located, their hours, their services, their phone number, of course, so I can call and make a purchase. And we help track those customer actions. And lastly, help them own their digital storefront with accurate branding and pictures. And if a consumer were to use that suggest and edit, YEXT has built a feature that the business would have to approve the change before it came into effect, and also let them know if a consumer is suggesting a change. And especially the ebb and flow and the disorganization that our entire world is in, we want to make sure we can suppress conflicting or wrong information online. Speaking about not really being in control, I think COVID-19 is a wonderful example. So I want to talk about a couple things we've seen in search and some of the things we've done to help businesses navigate through this global pandemic. To start, we've helped helped deliver over 50 billion search impressions for the businesses that power their information through YEXT. And with our direct integrations into our network, we were able to offer COVID-related fields for, let's say, retail and restaurants, like in-store pickup, delivery, no contact delivery, across major publishers like Apple, Facebook, Google, and Yelp. And we were also helping them mark their businesses temporarily closed to ensure that businesses can be in absolute control of their information online, everywhere searching consumers are. And as regulations open up and close, we can now give businesses the ability to reflect digitally exactly how they are in the real world per se. In looking at some search trends, we've seen that even though foot traffic for businesses may be dropping from a brick and mortar perspective, if we zoom in a little bit, when foot traffic is dropping, that's the green line, we see that online engagement, phone calls, web traffic is absolutely skyrocketing. To take this a little bit further, I wanted to pull things on food and dining and hospitality, which we know is an industry that is and has and is getting hit pretty hard. But we're seeing that volume in terms of quick service restaurants or fine dining is coming back up to normal levels, even as COVID cases rise. People want to eat out and people want to interact with their local environment, and they do it through search. When I look at food and dining in terms of behavior trends, phone calls, foot traffic, local web traffic, we see the same trend. The green line representing foot traffic, but the pink and blue line representing phone calls and search volume. And we see the same thing. Even though foot traffic is dropping, consumers are constantly going online to ask questions and understand where they can, of course, go. So having a digital strategy for a business is absolutely critical to stay relevant and stay connected to consumers, regardless of what pandemic or state of the world we are in. We also do have a YEXT public-facing site where you guys can always go to look at all trends across different verticals, understand consumer behavior, and it's a resource that anyone, of course, can go to track this information. So lastly, I want to talk quickly about how we think or how we position value to businesses with the YEXT platform. To start, us as marketers need to realize that when we make a decision, it's not as linear as it's depicted here, where I search for pubs in Berlin and then I just go to one. It looks more like this, where I'm a consumer and I might search for pubs in Berlin, and I might use search, maybe a mapping service or a voice assistant. But then I want to see if there's one that's actually open now, where I might look at a Google My Business profile, I might go to Yelp, Facebook, or potentially the business's website. And then if I'm looking for the best pub that's open now, that's where ratings and reviews come into play. If you remember my example that when we search for best of something, that search engines filter out businesses that don't have a 4-star rating or higher. And then when I put it all together, where I'm looking for the best pub in Berlin that is open now offering takeout, we realize that we can drive discoverability for businesses with our listings product, but we can help drive conversions and loyalty with listings and reviews. All along the way, platform analytics, monitoring if publishers want to change any information about our businesses online, the ability to suppress duplicate or bad or incorrect listings, notifications to our SMB customers if new reviews have come into play or a new set of data analytics are ready for them to check out. And of course, competitive analysis, tracking how our SMB customers are performing against their competition in search. So let's kind of hit home on 3 main value props and how, of course, we support value for businesses. 1, We help drive new efficiencies by helping businesses and marketers alike leverage an industry-leading platform. We increase discoverability with our listings and our reviews product to help grow traffic to SMB customers. And we create a better customer experience everywhere consumers search to help drive conversions everywhere. So when we think about new efficiencies for our SMB customers and for our marketing personnel alike, is that now businesses can push their information directly into the platform, immediately get listed, fix all their business information across our network in real time. We automatically start monitoring for reviews across the ecosystem. And we have true cross-platform analytics. So for the first time, businesses can really see their holistic view of search performance across the web. And as marketers, we can deliver these insights and reporting and benefits back to the SMB customer, learning where we need to improve our ratings and our reviews, where information was incorrect that we had fixed, and where we're driving really great engagement. We also help increase discoverability. We know that about 4 out of 5 consumers use search specifically to find local information, and they use it in 3 distinct ways: to go somewhere, to know something, or of course, to buy something. So if I'm looking for, let's say, an ATM or a pizza place near me, taking control of your client's business information everywhere searching consumers are is absolutely critical to help customers use search to go somewhere. When a consumer wants to know something, like does a business take online appointments or accept contactless payments or has delivery services, you can leverage the platform to drive rich content to stay connected not only with your clients, understanding how their business is evolving, what their hours are, if they have new services or new promotions, but by doing so, we also help that business stay relevant to searching consumers. If you look back to my examples earlier in the presentation, and then when I'm looking to buy something, like where's the best place for coffee that's near me, being able to track, manage, and improve your client's reputation over time so they can appear when it matters most. And then lastly, driving a better customer experience. We basically help the 3 goals of a customer: to go somewhere, to know something, or to buy something, everywhere they are. So if they're navigating to your website through search, through chat, through voice assistants, we can help make sure that customers see accurate and consistent information everywhere. And to leave you with a few stats, Salesforce released their consumer report and actually stated that 84% of consumers say the experience they have with a company is as, or if not more important than the products and the services that they offer. And then lastly, over 50% of consumers report that they will stop buying from a company if a competitor offers a better experience. And what's so beautiful about our space of local search is we help small businesses compete with maybe much larger enterprises, because outside of, let's say, Google Ads or direct advertising, you can't really pay your way to the top of organic or local search. So by helping your customers publish their information everywhere, monitor their reputation and their reviews everywhere, capture robust insights to be able to understand how they perform, we can help ensure that our SMB customers stay relevant and connected to searching consumers everywhere. So thank you guys so very much. And one other thing that I believe Marian might go into during his segment is we do have a wonderful platform where your customers, you as marketers can go to learn about the YEXT product, the platform, and value even deeper. So thank you guys so very much. And if there's any comments, thoughts, or questions, please.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Chad, for the great presentation and the great insights. I think you answered all the questions. Oh, no, you don't answer every question, because we have now one in the chat. Sind andere Verzeichnisse neben Google, Bing und Apple wirklich relevant? So are the others listing like Google, Bing, or Yelp relevant? So we have like 50 listing partners in the German market. So are they all relevant for the Google listing? The second part of the question is, how are the market shares?
Absolutely. So, I mean, we know that Google, of course, has maybe 90 to 95% of the market share for searching consumers. But if you look at places like Bing, for example, which pull their ratings and their reviews for businesses from Yelp, you can see that it's not about just, say, being number one everywhere. It's really about having the opportunity to be found everywhere. And as marketers, we can't control where a consumer is going to begin, continue, or end their, let's say, search journey online. So we're forced to make sure that we are rich, relevant, and accurate everywhere a potential searching consumer may be. And I think if you talk to an SMB customer and you ask them what would be the value of losing one potential customer, I think the impact could be pretty great. So that's kind of how I would address and look at that question, where, are all of these sites absolutely important? I would say for sure, if you're looking to capture the broadest share of search possible.